Welcome and good morning to all B.Sc. third year students of Fishery Science. Students, during 5th semester, you have studied two papers, paper 12 and paper 13. During semester 6th, you are studying two different papers, paper 14 and paper 15. Paper 14, aquarium and ornamental fishes, and paper 15, fishery economics, marketing, cooperative and extension. Today we have seen the paper 15, fishery economics, fish marketing, fishery cooperatives and fisheries extension, semester 6th, paper 15. Today we have discussed about the terms or definitions of fishery economics. What is the definitions of fishery economics? Then further we have studied detail about the study of economics in relation to fishery science or the fisheries. Yes, fishery economics. Definitions of fishery economics. First point, here we have discussed, we have studied. Prior to study the definitions of fishery economics, a Chinese proverb is to be used everywhere, and this Chinese proverb is, if you give a person a fish a day, if you give a person a fish a day, you are giving him a meal for the day. You are giving him a meal for the day. But if you teach him how to fish, you provide him meals for the rest of his life. Means simple. When we have provided a fish for a day as a food, he can consume and use it as a food. But we have teach him how fish these are to be grown, how fish these are to be live, how these are to be increasing, and how their culture is to be done. Then his life is to be well settled on the fish and aquaculture. His rest of the life is to be success. That's why this verb or the Chinese proverb is to be used everywhere. Now we have diverted toward the definitions of fishery economics. Here number of scientists, number of investigators, number of workers, they put forth their own definition according to their mind, according to their utilization. The first definition of fishery economics. Fishery economics is defined as a study of all the aspects of fishery science in relation to the development of the economy. In relation to the development of the economy, it is called as the fishery economics. What is the first definition? First definition is to be given as, that is, first definition, fishery economics is to be defined as the study of the aspects of fishery science in relation to the development of the economy. It is called as the fishery economics. Second definition, fish economics is also defined as to increase the nation's earning and export of fishes on a large scale. For that purpose, fishery is improved by economics, and economically it is well. What is the fishery economics? Fishery economics is also defined as to increase the nation's earning and export of fishes on a large scale. For that purpose, fishery is improved by economics, and economically it is well in condition and give more fetch, give more benefit from the fish and fishery sector of its all ways. It is called as the fishery economics. Or another definition, it is also defined as fishery development. See, fishery development through the national plans has been aimed for overall development of the industry in the sphere production of fish from marine and inland sector is called as the fishery science. It is also defined as fishery development through the national plans has been aimed for overall development of the industry in the sphere production of fish from marine and inland sector is called as the fishery economics. Means simply study of all aspects of the fish and fishery science in relation to development of economics. In relation to development of economy, it is called as the fishery economics. It is called as fishery economics. Or another definition, economics is a science of choice. Economics is a science of choice when faced with scarce means and unlimited ends. Means and unlimited ends called as economics, and when it is related to fish science or fishery science, it is called as the fishery economics. What is the definition? The definition is to be broad, more wide sense. Economics is a science of choice when faced with scarce means and unlimited ends. Means and unlimited ends called as the economics, and when it is to be related to science, it is called as the fishery economics. Or another definition, the application of principles of economics, in fisheries or fisheries sector, it is called as the fishery science. Application of principles of economics. All these principles of economics, these are to be applied. It is called as the fishery economics. Or in another way, fishery economics is most important because in recent years in fish industry or sector, various different modern tools and techniques are used. These modern technology, these are to be increase the fish production on large scale in our country, and when this fish production, these are to be increased on large scale in relation to economic development, in relation to the nation's earning development, it is called as the fishery economics. It is called as the fishery economics. In last, simple definition. When nations earning, these are to be increased from fish and fish sector, and when it is to be studied in relation by economic way, it is called as the fishery economics. You have well known, day by day the awareness of human being toward the fish and fishery sector is increased, and involvement of people on a large scale is the good symbol in this sector. That's why in coming years there is a good future for this sector. Day by day awareness of human being, day by day involvement of human being, these are to be increased toward the fish and fishery sector, and due to involvement, due to increase of the attitude, awareness, people, they can spend their maximum time, spend their money on the fish and fishery sector. It is the good symptoms, and when these people, these are to be continuously increased in such fashion, in such manner, in future, definitely there is a good future for the aquatic, for the aquaculture as well as for the fishery science, and it is to be earn the money, or it is earn the benefit as possible as. Fish are a renewable resource. Fish are the renewable resource. If well managed, they can provide endless benefit to the society in the form of food, revenue and job. It is the most important aspect, most important point. What is the important point? See, this is the most important aspect which is I have encircled. What is this? Fish are a renewable resource. Remember, on Earth planet, those are the natural resources. These are to be lost. No renewable resources. These are to be performed by human being. But fish as a source, and it is a renewable source. Renewable source when we can manage well, when we can provide a particular knowledge, particular attitude toward the sector, definitely, positively, this sector, these are managed well and provide endless benefit to the human being, to the society in the form of food, in the form of revenue, as well as in the form of self-employment or jobs. And when self-employment is to be increased, no one can ask service because they have their own jobs, they have their own business, and that's why this fishery sector, it is important, it is to be most important, most useful, renewable energy source, renewable source. When it is to be well managed, it is to be earn endless benefit for the human being. Economic information related to commercial and recreational fishing activities. Economic information related to commercial and recreational fishing activities and fishing related industries are called as fishery economics. What is the fishery economics? Economic information related to commercial and recreational fishing activities. Economic information related to commercial and recreational fishing activities and fishing related industries are called as the fishery economics. These are the few definitions. Then another few definition which is to be have seen here. Yes, generally those investment which is spent on the fishery resources and fishery development, these investment is very less as compared to those investment is found on the agriculture and other industrial development research project. What is the important thing? Generally those investment which is spent on the fishery resources and fishery development, those investment which is to be invested by government, those investment which is to be investment by businessman, investment is to be invested by industrialists, that investment is to be very less, very poor, because the spend on resources and fishery development, this investment is very less, very poor as compared to the investment which is to be investment which is to be done by businessmen, done by farmers, done by government on agricultural sector or on the industrial sector. That investment, these are to be more, these are to be tremendous as compared to the fish and fishery sector. Fish and fishery sector. That's why this sector, these are to be behind, lacking as compared to agriculture, as compared to the industry, because development is to be research project, but the income got from the fishery resources and fishery byproduct as compared to the investment which is to be invested on agriculture, investment is to be invested on industry, and investment is to be invested on fishery sector, and the byproduct or the income which is to be earned from the fishery sector, income these are to be earned from the agriculture, income these are to be earned from the industry sector. In these three sectors, income from the fish and fishery sector, these are to be tremendous, these are to be maximum as compared to the agriculture and as compared to the industrial sector. That's why this sector, these are to be more attention, more jobs, as well it is to be spent maximum money as compared to other sector. But the income got from fishery resources and fishery byproduct, it is very high as compared to agriculture and as compared to the industry. That's why fishery economics is a beneficial field. Fishery economics is a most important field to earn the income, to earn the maximum benefits from nation's earning or from the fishery sector. That's why government as well as the businessman, they can give attendance, they can give more attitudes, more views toward the fish and fishery sector. The total fishery resources of India are very extensive. The total fishery resources of India are very extensive. It is not only having a vast marine fishery resources, but also a good amount of area with respect to estuarine and inland waters. With respect to estuarine and inland waters, as the marine resources are plenty and numerous, they will be delimited after describing the various aspects of inland and estuarine resources. As compared to the estuarine, as compared to inland resources, sea resources or marine resources, these are the plenty, and we all know that to the India or to our country, all three sides, seas and oceans, these are to present, and only one side, that is the Himalayan mountain. Then also three sides, seas or oceans, these are to be occupied. More than 8,000 kilometer space or the area which is to be occupied by marine fish and fishery sector, and it is the good and most important plenty of resources of marine sources to Indian nations or Indian countries. All these are the various definitions of the fishery economics, and day by day the demand and requirement, day by day the demand and the requirements of fish and fishy products, these are to be increasing constantly, these are to be increasing evergreen continuously throughout in inland sector, throughout in marine sector. Their consumers, their eaters and customers, these are to be day by day increased, day by day it is to be constantly growing, and it is the good symbol, good symptoms for the aquaculture or the fish culture. There is a tremendous scope for fish production and fish byproduct in our country due to the increasing human population. Again, day by day in our country, one Australia, these are to be added, means tremendous quantities of population, these are to be added, and to fulfill these population, to face the problem of food, that is scarcity of food, these are to be occur. Definitely this fish and fishery sector, these are to be solve the problem of food scarcity, and that's why it is the increasing human population, a tremendous scope for fish and fishery sector, these are to be found, these are to be occur in our country due to increasing population as well as fast spreading area. In our country, all available water sources are fully utilized. Those marine water sources, those inland water sources, those marine water sources, inland water sources, as well as that is estuarine sources, river, reservoir, then tanks, lakes, ponds. When fully all these sources, these are to be utilized under cultivation of fish or the aquatic animals, fishery science animal, definitely it is one of the important sector for unemployment. Nowadays, we are proud to that in our country, number of unemployment people, they can attracted, they can diverted toward the fish and fishery science, and they can perform a business, they can develop a industry for fish byproduct industry, for the fish oil industry, for the fish pickle, fish sausage, fish wafers, or number of industries these are to be developed, and it is the a good source, it is the good opportunities for the unemployment, those people which is to be not have jobs, for that people this fishery science have a good opportunity, and that's why this is the first important point, that is definitions of fishery economics. Here we have see number of definitions. Simply all aspects of fishery science, all aspects of economics, when these aspects these are related to economics and applied to the fish and fishery science, it is called as the fishery economics. And definitely this fishery economics is the solution for the today's human population as well as today's unemployment, and this is the good choice, good opportunities in front of human being as well as in front of the government, which have provided endless job for the human being when it is to be properly and managed a particular conditions and used all its knowledge. Definitely it is the good symptoms. With this first point, that is definitions of fishery economics, here we have completed. Thank you all of you.